It's easy. Speak easy, baby.
You scared the crap out of me with that. I jumped in. I was like, oh shit.
Hey, you're good, man. You're good, man. What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Easy, Sean Kieran. What up, though, man? How was your night last night?
Oh, it was terrific, man. Just loved the action that we got yesterday. I mean, to be honest with you, I would say this about the Rams and Packers. I thought it would have been slightly closer, but you know what, that game, the Rams defense just wasn't there enough. And to go into Green Bay this year, you have to put up a lot of points offensively. And the Rams offense hasn't been doing that. Like, I'll tell you right now, let's see, because the receiving yards for this game, I think it was Josh Reynolds who had the highest receiving yards for the Rams. Yes, he had 3 receptions for 65 yards. That's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, and Goff went 21 for 27, and it was 174 passing yards. You're not going to beat Rodgers. It's that simple.
Yeah, you're really not. Do you credit that more to? I guess 21 for 27 isn't bad at all. But do you credit that to Goff's like limited ability with the injury, or Green Bay's defense, or a little bit of both?
I think, to be honest with you, it's Green Bay's defense, just because of the fact they've been playing really hot. Like, you name it. Zadarius Smith has been a problem. Preston Smith. Oh my! Even the secondary's been stepping it up, and it's like, you know, I was questioning the secondary at times throughout the year, but they proved me like, hey, we're definitely going to improve, and they have. And let's see, for exact stats defensively. For stats, we got Preston Smith, who had a total of 3 tackles. Rashawn Gary, the rookie, was in there. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Kenny Clark, too, the nose tackle. Yeah. He had a really good game, too. But, yeah, overall, their defense was just all over the place, creating problems for Goff.
Yeah, Rashawn Gary, that's a Michigan guy too, isn't it? The defensive tackle for Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, we all picked the Packers yesterday, but we did think the game was gonna be a little bit closer than it was. It started off a little, closer, but in that second half, the Packers just pulled away, man.
Yep.
Definitely.
It's just Rodgers being that bad man that he is.
Rodgers is a bad man. I cannot. That's undeniable. Oh man, Justin, the MMA Genie's in the building. What up, though, man?
What up?
Yeah, did you catch those fights yesterday?
I caught a little bit of it just because I was actually at Buffalo Wild Wings with some friends, and it was on a gigantic TV there, so I was able to see it. And I was like, I like what I saw. It was crazy.
Bro, it was wild. It was wildness. Please give shout out to Ali. It is his birthday today. Wow. Whoa.
Yep. He would have been 78, I think, today, right?
I'm not 100% sure on the exact age, but I assume that you're right, Sean. You know a lot of shit.
Let me look it up, because I think he would have been 78 today.
Man, Muhammad Ali. Maybe, man, I wish I would have known that a little bit earlier, man. I would have paid a lot more homage to him in the beginning of the show or at some point. Truly a legend. There's Habib Nurmagomedov. He's like a Muslim UFC fighter. He's a guy who beat the shit out of Conor. And they're asking him, like, what's it like, just like Muhammad Ali was a Muslim champion. They're trying to compare the two. And he was like, you can't compare the two. He's like, this guy was like world champion, the heavyweight champion of the world. And he wasn't allowed to sit in like diners and stuff like that because he's, at the time he's black and whatnot. And I was like, damn, that's crazy for Habib to have like the wherewithal to like think of that. But also that Muhammad Ali lived through that, being the champion of the world and still treated like a second-class citizen in his own country at times. So it's wild. But happy birthday, Muhammad Ali.
Happy birthday, man. Jeez.
I think we got my man Frankie getting ready to join the stream. I'm going to tap him in real quick. And then, right before I hopped on, I tripped over my laptop charger, man. I'm going to mess with that real quick, too. You guys talk about that Packers game real quick.
Oh, look who it is. So, Frankie, what was your initial thoughts to the Green Bay game that you saw yesterday?
I don't know. I thought it was gonna be a lot closer. I didn't expect that kind of blowout, and I thought the Rams defense looked well. Aaron Donald, he got hurt.
Yeah.
Again, didn't he?
Well, he was still playing, but he did get hurt at some time, right?
He didn't get hurt while playing. That's not why he got taken out of the game. Didn't he get taken out of the game at one point?
He only played like 27 snaps at one point, I remember, but he did get hurt the game before. It was like a rib injury.
So he didn't like do anything to that, did he, during that game?
No, I don't think anything that's like career threatening, but like they did limit his snaps yesterday for sure.
I don't know. I thought that I didn't see the last touchdown that Aaron Rodgers had, but I saw the highlights and that 58-yard bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it either.
And then that fake the
pump fake.
The pump fake.
I saw that. That was dirty.
The scramble. That was he's I don't know. I like I was telling him earlier on a little when we were messaging, but I think if the Buccaneers win today, which I think they will, that'll be an interesting matchup, especially since it'll be Brady versus Rodgers, and we've never seen that in the playoffs before. So,
I like that. To be honest with you, I like that matchup a lot more than Breeze and Rodgers. I think Tampa Bay is more of a complete team to actually match up against Green Bay. That's just my opinion on that.
Yeah, I think one thing to note real quick too is like you talked about the Rams defense like not showing up yesterday, and Aaron Donald was limited on snaps. It just seems like maybe this defense isn't as great all around as we thought. Maybe a lot of it is centered around Aaron Donald, and that's like I spoke on yesterday. The announcer saying he's the best defensive player he's seen, which we were like, oh, that's kind of crazy, but like. Look how much that defense faltered yesterday with him limited in action.
But
go ahead.
Here's the thing, though. I think something that doesn't get enough credit for is Green Bay's offensive line, though. They really stepped up big time. Just because they missed their key star. And I don't even know. How do you pronounce his last name?
Blaga or whatever? Or
it starts with a B.
Yeah.
One more time?
I don't even
can't pronounce it either, but Dan got it pretty. Speakeasy got it pretty good. Say it again.
Blaga? Is that what you're talking about?
I think it's like a Bakiari or something like that.
You killed it, yeah. Bakiari.
Okay.
I don't know if right, but something like that. But anyway, he's their key guy to the offensive line, and just look how they played yesterday. I mean, I don't think they get enough credit just because the amount of holes they created for Aaron Jones too. Aaron Jones had a game.
I didn't know Aaron Jones was on a contract here. Because he's on a contract here. And that's like they pushed it. And then I even on yesterday's podcast, I called out Jalen Ramsey and Devontae Adams, how that matchup was gonna be. And you saw on that first touchdown how Devontae Adams just kept on circulating back and forth. He lost him, and then he what's his name? Adams goes right back to him and he's wide open for the score. And Ramsey's looking at this other safeties like you're supposed to. I think he was supposed to come back, like if he didn't, because it looked like if he didn't follow him all the way through, it looks like the other safety was supposed to come up and help out under Adams, but he ended up just like staying in his same spot, and Adams is wide open, and Ramsey's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was like a schematic error or something like that. He's pissed off at the coach.
Well, no, it wasn't that. No, it wasn't that. It was just the way Adams ran it is that he just kept on going in motion. By the time Aaron hiked the ball, he was already in motion and going in. He
kept on deking Ramsey out at the line. He kept on deking him out, and Ramsey was trying to yell to his other teammates,
"Exactly,
I can't keep up with him. Someone pick him up." That's
they were doing, especially on that play. That didn't happen.
Yeah,
I thought Jared Goff played well.
He's like, why the hell did no one pick him up?
Right.
And kudos to Sean yesterday. I think you called Allen Lazard to have a big game. He led the Packers in receiving, a touchdown as well. 96 yards on him on 4 receptions, and obviously he had a touchdown. Devontae Adams, 9 receptions though against Jalen Ramsey. He was definitely getting it in.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys make of the late game? What were you gonna say, Frankie?
You can make a case that he's the best receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
I mean,
I want to say it right. I want to give him the title because he is good, like without a doubt. Like he'd be good on any team, right? But I wonder how much though Aaron Rodgers like adds to it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, do you say Julio? I mean, is Julio still in the top 5? I don't know.
As his physical peakness, yeah, but not right now.
No, not right now.
Yeah, he's not the same guy. He can't really stay on the field.
Up there, maybe in a couple of years, DK could be number 1.
DK?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a spot to claim for sure.
Yeah, I have him at 5 in my wide receiver rankings this year. I have him at 5, and I put Diggs at 4.
Ooh,
that is at 4,
interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah. Do you have that list on you? I'm kind of interested. I'm curious to hear it now.
All right. So my top 5 is I got Hopkins first, Devontae.
Okay.
Oh wait, I would say I would have to put I guess I gotta go Tyreek Hill second, then Devontae third, Stephon Diggs fourth, and then 5th I have Metcalf.
Ooh.
Fair. I'm trying to think who's
You can debate that.
Yeah, lists are always debatable too. Yeah, that's like a whole other show. Yeah,
that's where you got bringing stats into it for the top 3. To be
honest.
Go ahead.
We'll do a show like that after the heading into the Super Bowl. We'll do like our rankings at positions and whatnot. That'd be fun.
Yeah, do a draft show too.
Hey, we definitely do. And speaking of draft show, shout out to my man Philly the podcast. I don't know if he's in here right now, but and I'm actually going to contact him. Maybe get you on, Sean, for the Giants, but. He's going out to content creators from like each city to do like a mock draft and like draft recap and stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. For like 32 picks. But what'd you guys make of that late game last night? Ravens versus the Bills.
Defensive battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Were you guys weirded out at all by like the lack of like run calls by the Bills there?
Kind of. Well, it's like you said, they had Freeman playing for the first time and Singletary wasn't doing so well, so it's like you got to get used to that. And Freeman didn't have that big of a game as a second backup, and Singletary not so well. And Josh Allen had a normal type game. I think you mentioned that yesterday when we were talking in the comments that Josh Allen wasn't looking as good as you thought he was going to do in pass games too.
Yeah, he looked pretty awful, honestly.
He looked pretty just decent. He missed a couple open passes.
Yeah, so he overthrew a lot of guys.
He did.
Yeah,
he did. I thought that pick was huge, just coming out like especially with that. I mean that's a 14-point turnaround right there. I mean you go from having a tied game to being down 14. So and then he just
pick six.
Oh yeah, he just bolted. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, tied the longest interception return too. That was the game changer. That was a turnaround because it was really close.
Sure. Reminded me, I'll go back to Steelers Cardinals Super Bowl when James Harrison returned it back before the half. That's what kind of reminded me of. But
yeah, I remember that Super Bowl too. Man, I remember Steelers used to be the shit back in the day. I used to like watching them a lot.
Yeah,
that defense was something special. Yeah, but no, Josh Allen really just. I don't know if it was like really windy out there.
It was. Oh, it definitely was a factor because you saw it with the kickers. I mean, Justin Tucker, how many times he put
that was crazy too.
I mean, and even Buffalo Bills kicker, Bass, he's been spot on as a rookie, and he's missed I think 2 in the game.
He missed one yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he might miss 1 or 2, something like that.
That's crazy.
But both impacted. I think it impacted everybody. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that makes sense because I saw the overthrow from Lamar, which is expected, but when Josh kept overthrowing guys, I was like, what the hell? Like, what is going on here? But then I just looked at the rushing attempts for the game for the Bills. There's only 16 rushing attempts total at the end of that game for the Buffalo Bills.
Let me ask you this: do you guys even remember them trying to run the ball in the first half at all? I don't really remember them doing that. Maybe twice, if anything. I don't really remember them doing it in the first half.
My bad.
Basketball. Go ahead. Say what you were going to say.
No, I didn't see the first half as much as I saw the second half, so I don't know if all 16 rush attempts came in the second half, but you can probably look that up.
I wouldn't be surprised if it did. The third quarter, and I went to finish the game at a buddy's house, but in the third quarter, I'm like halfway through, there was 0, which is like blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And the second, the Josh Allen and Devin Singletary, who was I believe the starting running back for them yesterday, led, tied in carries yesterday. So I mean,
it was kind of, and they had TJ Yeldon in that game. I didn't even know that was like a third option that they could go to, and they only still gave it to him about 2 times. So
Yeldon,
you got to.
I didn't know he was still on the team.
I didn't know that either. I was like, wait, I'm like Yeldon. I'm like, I thought they said they signed Devontae Freeman. I'm like, it's okay. Devontae's got more of an impact, and I'm like, oh, it was more of Yeldon. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, and 7 of those 16 attempts came from Allen.
Yeah.
So that means your running backs only had what?
Not even 10. Under less than 10 carries from the running backs yesterday. And shout out to Stephon Diggs. I seen you had him as in their top 5, Sean. I think he belongs in there, man. He's definitely a leader for this team. I was kind of surprised to see a limited role from Cole Beasley. I know he's banged up a little bit, but I was looking at some 1-2 stats for receivers, and Diggs and Beasley were number 1 this season.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's why I thought he was gonna have more of an impact in the game, and I was expecting Beasley to have a little more breakout, like have a little crossing route involved more with Beasley, because that's what he's known for best in his game. And Buffalo didn't do that as much, and I'm like, oh, John Brown's getting more like receptions than him. It was really interesting to me.
I saw that too. And Brown was a former Raven too, so he kind of had that going. But no, I think they gotta use Yeldon more of just like a running back out of the screen. So if you're gonna set up a screen, just putting Yeldon in there as your running back, you kind of can camouflage the defense, especially depending on who they play next. So if it's the Chiefs, and we know the Chiefs defense isn't all like it's not good. I don't think it's good. So you can get some tricks in there and try to keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands if they make it past the Browns, which I don't think they will, but we'll see.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Well, I think we can get into that. It's kind of on topic. We were talking about the Chiefs defense. They are the first game of today. I believe the Chiefs and Browns are kicking off at 3:30 or 3 o'clock.
5.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's Eastern time for everybody watching from like anywhere else in the world. Shall I let you go last, Frankie? Since you have the hot take, or I'll let you go first. I want to hear this. I've been wanting to hear it since yesterday.
Last second field goal, Browns win 34-31.
Okay. Look, Devin 99 is in agreement with you too. So don't be surprised if the Chiefs lose.
Yeah. Last second field goal shocks the world. I think
wait, Parkey kicks that. He's their field goal. He's their field goal, right? Yeah. Ball guys, Parkey. That'd be funny.
And then, I think they try to. They gotta utilize Hunt. They gotta utilize Chubb if they're gonna win. Baker's got to have a good decent game, not where he's like spreading the ball around, but he's got to have a good game. For them to win, they can't have any mistakes. You can't fumble, can't throw any picks. If you give the ball right back to Mahomes, he's just going to score. He's going to go down the field. We know they score. I mean, if you saw yesterday, Aaron Rodgers had a play where he looked like a magician and just like kept on moving around in the pocket and then just do a I think it was like a 40-yard pass to that tight end. Mahomes can do that with his eyes closed, and we've seen it before. So if you give the ball back to Mahomes, he's going to score. But like I said, I think they're going to shock the world. I think Browns win. Chiefs can't handle. Yeah, see, I mean, especially with Kareem Hunt, he's got something to prove. I mean, this team. I mean, mind you, it wasn't like they let him go because they let him go. They let him go because he had personal issues that he needed to deal with, and they didn't want that on their team. So. But he's got someone to prove against them, and then
let's keep it real. They let him go because of cancel culture.
Yeah. Thank you. That's okay. You okay? Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is. But he's got someone to prove, and I think you got to get Chubb the ball, and don't be surprised if you see Baker getting in there and maybe running it up if he's got some free open space. But I think they get the upset.
But how do they do it though? It's like Kareem Hunt. You think Kareem Hunt have a monster game?
Like I was telling Sean, I think you got to keep the ball out of Mahomes' hand. If you make any mistakes, they got to have a mistake-free game. They can't throw any picks. They can't have any fumbles. And you got to keep it matched. If the Chiefs score right away, you got to make sure that you're scoring right back. You can't go for field goals. I would go for it on 4th down. If you're at a 4th and 1 on their own 15-yard line, I go for it, especially if the Chiefs have scored. I go for it. I think you have nothing to lose. You're a 10-point underdog. 10-point underdog in a divisional game. That's pretty huge margin. And some people, I mean, by the time the game starts, it could be 11 for all we know. Like before the game started yesterday, I think Packers and Rams got to 7. At one point, it was at 7. Yeah, and they covered.
Yeah.
Both teams covered yesterday.
Yeah, of course. As soon as we go off air, too, it's announced Cooper Kupp was going to play yesterday as well. So that's probably where that extra point came from.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but you think they stopped the Chiefs on defense, or you think the Chiefs are just or on offense? Do you think they slowed the Chiefs' offense down?
Well, I think they match them. I think they have to match them all the way through. Like I said, if you make a mistake and you throw an interception and you give Mahomes back, he's rightfully going to be able to score right back. So if you're down by 2 scores, I think it gets a little bit tricky where you have to score to keep matching up and you can't punt the ball. But like I said, if you don't make any mistakes and you keep up with their scoring, they got a chance to be in there close, maybe tie it and win it with a field goal.
That's what's up. I respect that.
Yeah,
Coming out in public and saying that, crazy, man.
But if you give up, let's say Chubb fumbles the ball on the first play and then Chiefs get in, they score, then that right there takes away all your momentum. But if you go down the field and you match what they're doing,
yep,
you got a different ball game. But they got to have. I think Baker's got to have a good enough game where he's not giving up the ball, and I think your run game has to be just running down their throats. And the Chiefs, I don't know how good their rush defense is, but they don't have that good of a defense, and you have to have defense. I think last year they won based off of the magic of Mahomes, to be honest with you, in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, the Niners definitely had a better defense, but like I said, and now they're trying to crown him as the new young GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a big fan of Mahomes, but we'll leave that for a different time.
No, go ahead. I'm listening. I do want to hear this one. It is.
I don't mind him. I don't know. He gets on my nerves. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's in too many freaking State Farm commercials. That's his problem.
Is that what it is?
Well, Baker's got Progressive all bundled up too, so it'll be interesting.
You know what's funny? I do see that the Baker commercials all the time, but I have no clue what he's advertising. I know he has a Hulu one, but all the other ones I have literally no clue what he's advertising. What is he? Is it
Progressive Insurance?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Terrible on their part. At least State Farm, I know they're talking about State Farm. Baker ones, I don't know what the fuck's going on there. It's just
what we're doing as the Cleveland Browns Stadium is his home. So he's protecting that, and you can use Progressive to protect Baker's home.
You and Devin99 are on like the same wavelength, bro. Because he says Mahomes overrated too. I think you two are crazy.
I don't think he's overrated. He's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I mean, what's funny is that these two players locked with each other when they were at Texas. He was at Texas Tech and Baker was at Oklahoma. So this is kind of an interesting game again. But I don't think he's overrated. I just think that they're beatable. Just like the Patriots were beatable when they had the dynasty.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And Sean's Giants came out with Eli and the helmet. And then
I agree.
And then another upset again. So they're beatable. And
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Like I said, Browns cannot make any mistakes. You cannot have a turnover. And if that defense creates a turnover, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I respect it.
Yeah, that was really good. He backed himself up with that really well.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear how it was gonna, what was the prediction for it and how it was gonna happen. And I mean, you had some ready for you. Devin Knight says I'm throwing for at least 200 with his weapons. I will say this: to Mahomes is definitely not overrated. The shit I've seen this guy do, I've never seen before in my life. Like some of those throws on the run where he's like his body is just completely crossed. He's just fucking throwing like a 50-yard bomb and like some of the no looks is just like the touch on the ball, like all of it. It's insane. It's hard to digest because, like, where the fuck did he just come from? Like, I've never seen this shit before in my life.
He makes it look so easy throwing the ball. I mean,
he really does. But they have looked beatable this year. I will say, like, they've had a lot of close games where it should have been close games. I think the Raiders gave them their first L, which they did they stormed back. But football is different from the NBA, where sometimes you see the NBA stars take off like the beginning of a game and like they'll turn on like the second half, for the comeback or whatnot. It almost seems that way with the Chiefs, but I don't want to say that because the NFL is just totally different. There's a lot more game planning and whatnot. But you look at a lot of games like throughout the season that a lot of them were like comebacks, where they're just storming back and like scoring at will almost at the end of these games. But Sean, who do you have in this divisional matchup today with the Browns and the Chiefs?
Today I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, and to be honest with you, thinking of this game kind of reminds me of what we saw in the national championship preview between Ohio State and Bama. Like that kind of mindset, like with Ohio State, what their mindset was with a stacked offense like Bama, they had to keep up with them. They know that they had to put up points in order to beat this team. You had to keep up with them and take risk, make risky calls and everything like that. You couldn't turn over the ball over. You always had to match what they did. Same exact thing here with Cleveland going up against KC. KC has a stacked offense. They can't turn over the ball like Frankie said. You got to keep up with them in order to be in the game and end up beating them. Because if you want to take down the best team in the AFC, you got to match them every step of the way.
Yeah, and it's a hard pace to keep up with. I mean, like I said, at the end of a lot of these games this year, they're scoring at will. And I don't know if he ended the season ranked number one. Wasn't Travis Kelce number one in receiving yards this year?
As a tight end, yeah, right? Or you're talking about
number one overall?
I think it was just overall. I'm gonna look right now too. He may have done the end of the year that way, but I know like 3 weeks out from the end of the season, Kelce was the number one guy. He ended second overall in receiving yards.
Who's first?
Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs had 1,535 yards, and Travis Kelce had 1,416.
Top five statement right there for Stephon Diggs.
I was just gonna say another top five statement. Yeah. Damn, Justin Jefferson at the fourth spot here. That's kind of crazy too.
Look out! I think that kid, when he was at LSU, he was crazy.
Damn, yeah. I'm looking real quick too for this defense because we're talking about the KC's defense rankings and whatnot. I'm looking, I think towards the bottom of. Hold on.
Are they mid?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're mid. Yeah,
they're middle back. Yeah, but like I said, you gotta have that good defense to win championships. And I mean, they won it last year with the same type of defense. I mean, they have a always mid type defense, but they won last year on the magic of Mahomes. I'll give them that. I think it was a magic, like the magic we saw from Aaron yesterday. I thought that was like how he scrambled out of the way. I think we got some magicians in the NFL playing at the quarterback spot.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's where I separate here in Detroit. Obviously, people have the Stafford debate. Like, shouts out to Dev99 again. He commented earlier on. He said Stafford been doing Patrick Mahomes passes for 10 years now. Different conversation though. I don't agree with that at all. But the sidearm, I commented back. So the sidearm, I'll give you that because for sure Stafford's been throwing those sidearms for like a hot minute now. But Mahomes and Rodgers and Wilson, they're just like when shit breaks down and shit hits the fan, they just pull out magic out of their ass. Like more times than not. It's just like at some point it's no longer luck, it's a skill set. When they're back there scrambling, they find the open guy. It's just shit that they do, that they do that other guys don't. Jamar Chase over Devontae Smith. That's a narrative I'm hearing a lot. Sean, how do you feel about that one? I don't know if that's a Detroit thing or is that a national thing?
To be honest with you, I've been hearing a lot of that, and I'm gonna go with it. You believe it? I can't really believe that Devontae Smith is like an underdog in this conversation. So I think Devontae Smith is slightly better. I'd give him the edge a tiny bit. But Jamar Chase is a heck of a prospect. I'm not going to down him or anything, but I just think what I've seen from Devontae Smith, I've seen different receivers in him. Like I think of a little bit like his separation and speed. I see a tiny bit of Tyreek Hill in that regards. I see another receiver, the former Colts receiver.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, it was Harrison. I see a little bit of him as well. Yeah. But Jamar Chase is a great prospect as well. I'm not going to down him.
Yeah. So you're taking –
I'm taking Devontae, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I like Devontae Smith. I think he earned that Heisman for sure. I mean, the last time you had a Heisman wide receiver was Desmond Howard.
Yep, 1991. You believe that? Freaking time.
I mean, and then you look at who he had passing. I don't discredit Mac Jones, but he's not your typical like Jamar Chase had Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow proved that he has the arm. He can make the NFL type throws, and that's why he kind of made Jamar Chase. Don't get me. They're both outstanding receivers. I think he kind of made Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson a little bit better receivers than like they actually look Justin Jefferson's kind of contradicting my point because look how well he did this year.
Mhm.
But I like Devontae Smith better. I think he kind of has exactly what Sean was saying. He kind of has that more potential of a little bit of each receiver that he mentioned in him. But I like him better. I think Jamar Chase, I think he's a top 5 prospect rookie receiver, like top 5 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Who's his pro comparison? Because I'm not a big college guy.
Who, Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
Let me see, because I actually haven't thought of a pro comparison for me personally with him. I want to see what other people are saying.
I don't know. He kind of
Devin 99 still drunk from his birthday, man. What is this?
He's going in BYU QB.
I like Zach Wilson from what I've seen. I see potential. I don't see like a finished product. He looked a little small to me, but I did like what I seen a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
What are you thinking?
They're saying Anquan Boldwin. You remember him from the 90s?
I like Anquan Boldwin a lot.
The Cardinals too, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Really weird, Greg. I don't have like a specific type to put Anquan Boldwin at because he kind of did everything. You know.
Yeah.
And
he was on the Ravens too, wasn't he?
He played for the Ravens. He played for the Cardinals. He played for Detroit for a little bit.
Did he play for the Ravens or no?
I think he did play for the Niners for a little bit too. Yeah, when Cap was there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a weird I don't know.
Well, who's your pro comparison, Frankie?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't think I have a pro comparison for him. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to compare these kids too because they're the game has changed so much within the last several years. So you kind of have receivers just going, and their speed is just ridiculous at points that you can't even keep up. Look at DK Metcalf.
You can barely breathe near the guys nowadays too.
DK Metcalf. I mean, when he went right after that pick 6, that was amazing. I mean, who has that speed and his size?
Yeah. Who's bigger, Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith?
I'm pretty sure it's Jamar Chase. I think is the bigger receiver.
I think he's a bigger receiver.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, this is from, just to let you know who it's from, it's Daniel Jeremiah. He's a NFL Network analysis. And he also said Steve Smith as another guy. I don't know about that.
Another Ravens, former Raven, too.
Yeah.
Watch him get drafted by the Ravens.
Could you? Is that what Daniel Jeremiah is trying to say here? It's like, I wonder what he's trying to say here.
I mean, I don't know what the Ravens have. I don't know how. I mean, does that kid go in the first round?
He definitely
first round.
I mean, I'm not sure, man.
He definitely does.
Okay.
Chiefs, Browns. I mean, I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are gonna just. It's gonna be an onslaught of points. The Browns' defense looked horrendous against the Steelers, and all due respect to Ben Roethlisberger and how great he's been throughout his career, he's not the same Ben Roethlisberger when he was putting up, $500 yards on purpose. I feel like he had that 500 yards that game, or 400, whatever it was more of like in a comeback attempt rather than like skill. I will go over the injury report though, and I just want to see. So for the Browns actually. I don't know if they're missing anybody, but a couple questionable guys. David Njoku's questionable. BJ Goodson's questionable. I don't know if he's a starter or not. Jack Conklin, I know he's starting tackle for them. He's questionable for today. J.C. Treader, the center's questionable for them. And another tight end, Steven Carlson.
Oh, wow.
Well, they need just about everybody. They need all the help they can get today, seriously.
They do. And then I see Myles Garrett's on this injury report too, but he was full practice participant, so I'm sure he's good to go.
Yeah, he's gonna
play a key factor. Like I said, if my prediction needs to come through, he's got to be a key factor on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Chiefs right now, so they're missing Sammy Watkins again, which is weird because there's something came out in the news this week where he was kind of talking shit, I guess, on Twitter or something like that about this matchup.
Oh, he's not gonna.
Yeah, I was like, why are you talking shit? Why are you giving bulletin material when you're not even like on the field to like? I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say for a key, I want to see if how Clyde Edwards does in the backfield for the Chiefs. I mean, he's a good running back, and I think if they're going to win, he's got to play a key factor too, especially if he comes out catching balls from Mahomes and how he's going to do. So I think he's a key factor for sure.
Well, on Friday, he did not participate in practice, and he is questionable today. Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Levy.
I know they got Le'Veon Bell, but he's also
Oh.
questionable as well. But I'm sure he's good to go because he was a full participant in Friday's practice.
Yeah, trust me. If they practice majority of the week, they're definitely
They're gonna
playing.
play. Okay.
They won't miss the playoff game.
Yeah, if they're playing in practice, they're for sure like able to play the game. You know, they know they're gonna like risk them in practice and not, a playoff game at that.
Mhm.
W9 says, did you guys see that stat line for Mahomes and Baker when they played each other in college? I did not.
Yeah.
What was it?
I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was like they each had like over 600 yards passing against each other.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up real quick. 19 hours ago post. Let's see. I'll get it on the screen too, so it's not like awkward silence while I do this. I would love to say that this is the type of game maybe we might see it. I'm not sure, but I just don't think Baker can keep up with him on the offensive end. I mean, Jarvis Landry's a pretty good receiver though, so you never know. Where's the stat line up here?
Yeah, so Mahomes
Holy shit.
had 819 yards. Oh, yeah, 734 to 555.
So yeah, Mahomes, 52 completions and 88 attempts. That's fucking insane. 734 yards, 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. That's fucking insane. And I think 85 yards rushing too.
Oh my God.
Added to that. Throwing the ball 88 times a game.
You don't run it. You're not running the ball at all. And
oh my God, that's insane.
Where Mahomes, like where he got his, like, well, if you go to a college where you're not running the ball at all and it's literally like air raid, that's exactly the type of like mindset he has, and that's how he developed into what he is now.
What's even crazier is even more in limited attempts at 36 total, 27 completions. Baker Mayfield had 545 yards and 7 touchdowns. Man, if I would tell you that the guy at the top was going to be a better quarterback, you probably, I guess.
No, he is the better Mayfield.
No, he is.
Mayfield. I mean, he won the Heisman because he was the best that year, and I think there wasn't that many better comparables. But I know Mahomes is definitely the better quarterback, and he's proved it.
Yeah, I
think we just lost John. Is he okay?
Oh, you got, he probably got a phone call or something like that. Yeah, it's. I think too with the college, obviously, I think your team could bulk you up a little bit, make you look a lot better. I mean, look at all these Alabama quarterbacks that considering like the teams and whatnot, they should be all first round picks, which is not the case.
Sure.
So it's looking like Sean Chiefs, me Chiefs, and you Browns.
Yeah.
You sure you want to stick to that one?
I'm gonna stay with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Went 2-0 yesterday.
Yeah. Yesterday's a little bit easier.
It was.
This next one's gonna be hard for me. I had to toss up, but I'll probably pick last for sure.
Because I could see it going either way.
Yeah, Tampa Bay and New Orleans headline tonight. I think at 6 o'clock that they kick off.
Yeah.
What's your pick prediction for that one?
So I'll say this to start off. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year.
It is.
But just seeing how Tampa Bay starts. I want to kind of see how Tampa Bay starts off with the game. If they look like they're iffy, then I can see New Orleans going. And then I want to see how New Orleans defense plays. If New Orleans defense can keep up with Brady and Gronk and kind of keeping them in check and keeping what's his name? Keeping Fournette in check too, keeping Mike Evans in check, Chris Godwin. It really depends on New Orleans' defense, but and then seeing how Breeze does with his weapons as well. Can he get it going as well? I mean, they kind of had that last game wasn't too convincing for me. I mean, it was 21-9, but at some points it could have seemed. Who did they play last week? Was it?
They played the Bears.
Bears. I mean, at some points you could have seen the Bears could have done something else, but
yeah, the Bears just have like no type of offense. It's the weirdest shit.
Especially with Trubisky. But like I told Sean earlier when he released his asking who was going to win, but I'm going to take the Bucs 41-35 in overtime.
Yeah. I like that.
It's going to be a shootout. Take the over.
I can see it. Like you said, it's tough to beat a team times in 1 year. I mean, to beat them twice,
Yeah, to beat them twice and then to beat them the second time very convincingly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, you made them look like they were like the Lions for crying out loud.
Yeah, and I feel like what maybe in the Bucs benefit is that we saw the best of the Saints and like their keys to victory, and maybe the Bucs can capitalize on like knowing they exert all options, but at the same time they couldn't stop those options. Sean, who do you have in this one?
I am going with the Bucs, and I'll give you a 38-35 win. I think we could see by a field goal, the Bucs win. But with this one, the last time somebody beat a team 3 times in this season, you have to go back to 2009. Dallas did that to Philly. So it's been some time. It's happened before. I think it was like about, I want to say a total amount of times, it's been like 15 to 17, somewhere in that range in total. It's happened. So it can. But I'm going to go with the Bucs just because Brady in the playoffs, and that's just how I feel about Brady. You can't really go wrong with him, and I don't see him losing to a team 3 times in a year. I don't think that never happened to him in a season before.
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, the one thing too is the Antonio Brown's in this matchup. I don't believe he was there for the first 2.
He wasn't there for this. I don't know if I don't think he wasn't there for the first one. I know that for sure.
I could look into it here. Let's see.
I don't know. I don't remember him the second one. I'm trying to think. Was he there for the second matchup?
Check it out. Buccaneers. Oh shit! I did not mean to do what I just did. Whatever. Well, I can't do it right now because I exited out of the other tab that I was in. Real quick too. Taysom Hill likely out today.
I think it just takes away. I mean, that doesn't change my mindset. I think it kind of. I don't really think it gives him. I mean, I don't like the whole Wildcat, especially with him. I mean, he's had a couple fumbles here and there when doing that Wildcat, or he's had a couple interceptions. He's not really that attraction that I kind of find to kind of like distract the defense. Especially, I mean, when he comes in, the defense thinks right away. I mean, he's going to run, and then he kind of tricks him with a pass. And then if you just keep everybody back, and he does go for a pass, and he's got an open field to run it. I mean, he's not really like he doesn't really give me that kind of like Wildcat like I'm used to Wildcats.
Yeah.
Kind of like that Tim Tebow factor, but when he was in college, not in the NFL.
I fully admit that I am a Tom Brady hater. I do not want Tom Brady to win this game.
Dang.
I'm also at the same time a low-key Saints fan, but I am before even the Saints. I'm a Tom Brady hater. But it is tough to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. The Saints are missing a starting cornerback. Looks like Patrick Robinson's not going to be able to play today. Taysom Hill's questionable. Latavius Murray's questionable. On the other end, though, for the Buccaneers, they're really only missing like a defensive lineman, it looks like, and it's Jeremiah Ledbetter. Ronald Jones, Rojo, looks like he's questionable as well. And Leonard Fournette will get the start. I fucking hate to say it, bro, but I think Tom Brady's going to win today. And I don't know if it's going to be blowout. I don't know if it's going to be close, but we've seen the Saints just dribble up in these playoff moments so many times now. It's something I've just gotten used to and expect every year.
And then what's the Saints are favored in this game, aren't they?
I'd be really surprised. I feel like
I
look it up,
Yeah, Saints are favored. So the really interesting matchup as both late games yesterday and today, same spread, 2.5.
2.5 points.
Yeah, I would either take Tampa money line or plus 2.5.
Yeah, I think the key to this one is going to really depend on the Saints defense.
But exactly, what's that linebacker's name? Or not linebacker? Is he a linebacker or is he a defensive linebacker on the Saints? They're
Cam Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, can he bring more heat? Can he get to Brady? And the thing about disrupting Brady too is that if you get him out of the pocket, if he feels any type of pressure, he falters. Brady has always been the type. I'm a Brady guy. I've been a Brady fan for a while. Mm-hmm. So, like, if he stays in the pocket, he's the best QB. Stay in the pocket, complete passes. But if he gets any type of pressure and falters and gets out of the pocket, he falters, and he doesn't look good. It makes him look like beyond what he actually is, like less of a man.
Devin said didn't have to go there. I don't know if he's talking about when I said I was a Tom Brady hater or not.
Oh, nobody ever
beat Tom 3 times. That's facts. I don't. No one's ever beat Tom. I think even twice in the same season.
Until now, I think.
Yeah, until now, at least divisional.
Tampa going
to the Super Bowl. I can see it, man.
And then you got take a look. If you go beyond sports and just look at money wise and how we're trying to market, especially with the whole COVID this year and how revenue is going to be a lot different without the stadium revenue. But you'll have Tom Brady in Tampa, Super Bowl in Tampa.
That'll be the first time that a home team hosts the Super Bowl. So
seriously,
that's crazy. They had a shot at it was Minnesota, and they made it all the way to a divisional round, but they lost.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting. I mean, I'm just saying they'll advertise the shit out of that, and Brady's already started it with his Tom Bay, and
yeah. So it sounds like everybody's taking the Bucs. I hate to say it, but I think I'm taking the Bucs too. And then to note, I pulled up Antonio Brown's numbers to see if he played against the Saints this year, and he hasn't. But what I did notice is a trend from when it looks like him and Tom Brady started to click on this offense a little more, because through the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games of the season, including Washington, he scored a touchdown in each one. So it seems like him and Tom are starting to click. And that Antonio Brown's just phenomenal wide receivers. You can say what do you want off the field, but route running and catching the ball, he's one of the best. And I'd even put him up there one of the best to do it, man, because he's not really like physically gifted, attribute wise. But in that defense too, we've seen that defense step up big time for Tampa.
Oh yeah.
But it maybe I wouldn't be surprised the Saints won, because then again,
Kevin White needs a big game from Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa kind of struggled to put away Washington last week. We shall see. We shall see, boys.
Brady plays well in close games. He plays well in close games in the playoffs. So that's just something to keep an eye out on, how he game manages, I should say. That's the right word to use. It's going to be interesting to see what he does today.
Some other stuff I want to get into with you, if you're down, if you got the time, because Sean, I know you have to work, and Frankie, you want to hit the gym.
I'm good.
I try to make it sound like bad. I'm going to the gym, man. My big ass needs to go too. Devin White, Levante David, best linebacker duo in the league. I agree.
I like Devin White a lot.
But
Lions drafted him.
Some big news coming out of that James Harden trade last night was Karis LeVert. Sean, you're actually the one who let me know through that group chat. Do you want to tell the people what's going on with Karis LeVert? Because I'm not 100% sure. You're the one who let me know.
Yeah, so something's going on with his kidney, they were saying. I don't know exactly, quote unquote, what it is, but just the major headline, something's up with his kidney. And man, I mean, in a way, I'm actually really happy this trade went through for him personally, because you have to remember now, before a trade gets through the full entire process, you got to go through physicals and everything like that. So the only reason why this trade actually went through is because the medical staff actually told Houston originally, saying that, hey, he's going to end up being all right. So that's why this trade ended up going through. But if the medical staff said something else like this, I don't think he can recover from this, it's going to be bad, that trade would have never went through. We would have never seen Harden go to Brooklyn in this specific trade. They would have had to rework something else out. But I'm just really thankful that this trade happened. So just because that he didn't have to play through this the rest of the year. I mean, like, this trade never happened, he would have been playing with Brooklyn, and who knows, we could have seen another disaster. We could see a disaster on the court, God forbid. But
yeah,
I hope everything's all right with him.
Yeah, and I'm reading the article real quick too. I'll just click away from the tab. I'm sorry, guys. The team officials made the announcement Saturday on Twitter they say he will undergo more tests and additional details will be released at a later date. He made a statement. He said, on behalf of my family and myself, we want to thank the Indiana Pacers for their support and guidance. LeVert said in a statement. I'm actually kind of curious this, because obviously this was found during the physical to complete the blockbuster trade, but it's an issue. Clearly that they found it. Something's wrong with it. How did this trade still go through? Like, shouldn't that have halted it at that point, or do you think the Pacers kind of like conceded and were like, we'll take it still?
I think, Sean, you nailed it. I think you said it. earlier, why the trade went through, because they told him that he was going to be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the medical staff had to say that he was gonna, it's gonna look good for him. At least he's gonna be able to play eventually. Because if they say that, oh man, it looks like I don't think he can come back from this, that's when obviously that trade's not going through. So I think that's why you just need the optimism and like some sort of timeline. I'm sure they've received some sort of timeline for that.
Yeah, it's true. The thing that scared me is indefinitely, and I was like, oh shit, like,
yeah, it definitely does. Yeah.
But
Harden had his first game yesterday, even though
I was just gonna say, yeah, leading off of that is Harden did debut as a Brooklyn Net yesterday. I'll pull up the stat lineup. I know he had 32 points.
Did he have 42 or did he have 30?
He had 32 points, 14 assists, and 12 rebounds.
And Kyrie didn't play, did he?
No Kyrie.
No Kyrie.
You made a perfect comment yesterday, though, Sean, when you said that I think Kyrie may be the one that's going to be the kind of like the ego that kind of brings him down. If anything, I don't think Harden's going to be that one. I could see that now. I don't know. They look good.
I said that too. I'm just kidding.
You did, no, but he kind of. My bad.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you both said it. I think I was the one that said that Harden was going to be the ego, but
no, because Harden and KD play well together. They've done it in OKC. That's not a concern of mine. It's just like what I messaged you guys yesterday. It's just Kyrie's action just concerning me. What is he going to do on the court? Is he going to get that like jealous type feeling all of a sudden when he sees Harden taking that shot? You know what I mean? Instead of him. So that's just something that hopefully they're going to have to figure out. But hey, I can't believe, like, when was the last time you seen that big ass smile on Harden's face, though? I think that's something that you got to point out too. It's been some time.
Yeah, it's I know a lot of people like to hate on him. He's like one of the villains of the NBA, but it just happens when you're just that good at what you do.
What are the standings? Are they?
The Nets? I'll get it pulled up. I want to look at a stat lineup real quick.
I think they're, what are they, 7-6 right now? Are they 7-6?
I think they are 7-6.
They are. Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, they're 8-6.
What was the record?
They're 8-6. They are right now sitting in the 5th seed. Celtics are the 1 seed, and the
East.
Giannis-led Bucs are the 2nd seed.
Yeah, and one of the things too with surrounding KD with like stars like this is like he really starts to shine because like kind of overshadowed by James Harden's debut, and I get he had a phenomenal game, 32 points, but KD dropped 42, 62% shooting from 3-point, and then 60% from field goal range as well. So he obviously went off. He shoots a lot more efficient with guys like this on the floor. And if you want to speak to efficiency as well, James Harden last night 8 of 18 on 44% for his shots. But what really stood out to me in his debut was the 14 assists because he hasn't even practiced with this team yet.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So all the talk about it not working, I think the only question I guess you throw in there a wrench would be Kyrie. I mean, like we kind of spoke on it.
Do you show the number? How many of those assists were to KD?
That I don't have. Is there a way to find that stuff?
I think so.
I'm not gonna watch it, but I'll get kicked off YouTube playing that live. But I think KD's really gonna explode in this offense, man. And I know a lot of people when you bring up the Lakers in the conversation because they are the defending champions, they want to say who's gonna guard AD, who's gonna guard AD. Well, the point, the effort to win the game is who scores the most points. And when you got a guy like Kevin Durant, I can't name a guy who's been able to guard him. And if he's popping off of 42, I think that's the question there is who's going to stop Kevin Durant and James Harden, that duo. But I do agree Kyrie's the wrench. He's the one guy who wanted out solely to be the guy elsewhere, of pure, like, I hate to say it, I don't know what's going on in his head, but it sounded like jealousy at the time. It was weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I'm just hoping that doesn't show up on the court. Because that's something that I could see happening. All of a sudden, he sees that, this new guy, Katie's buddy Harden, just comes in and he's taking the final shot over me. I've been here longer than James Harden. Why the heck is he getting that final shot? So, I hope that this is where Steve Nash, the head coach, needs to step in and just have these, mature this specific group. I should say mainly Kyrie. I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about Katie and Harden.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I just don't think that's a thing with Kyrie either. I don't think he listens to anyone but himself. I mean, he's off doing his own thing, living in his own world. And the Magic, not a bad team. I believe they were a playoff team last year, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I think they were the 8th seed, right? They play Milwaukee again.
Yeah. So for these guys to come together without zero practice and just good. Granted, it was a close game. I think they won by 6 or 7, but to have that type of performance, I think is a gives you an idea of how great they're gonna be.
Mm-hmm. And just like as a whole for the team, like the biggest concern has to be like on the court is their defense. I think we can all agree about that because you saw what Orlando put up. I think Orlando put up 115 against them.
They did.
Yeah,
that's a close game right there. To be honest with you, I don't think Orlando should be putting up that many points against you. That's just me.
For sure. No, I agree. I will give them the benefit of the doubt though that again, like zero practice together.
Yeah.
And defense, like team defense, is definitely one of those things where you kind of like learn to trust the guys around you, and you learn like their abilities and inabilities, like times you should step up and help a guy out and stuff.
I don't know what the spread was on that game. It doesn't show it.
I wanted to ask Sean, because you're a residential New York fan. The Knicks were supposed to be the team to land KD and Kyrie duo, and now you see that they added James Harden to it. How do you feel as a Knicks fan? Are you a little salty about that, or like?
As of right now, I'm not as salty, but here's the thing. If it ends up working out, meaning them winning a championship this year, oh boy, I'm going to be really salty then because what could have freaking been? What could have been over at the Mecca? But you want to know something? To be honest with you, I originally just wanted KD. I didn't want Kyrie.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I knew that it wouldn't work out because of the fact that they wanted to play with each other. And that's the one thing I didn't want. I didn't want Kyrie along with him. And the only way you were going to get KD was if Kyrie was coming along. And plus, Dolan, whatever happened with him, I don't even think he offered him like the max, whatever. I
was just going to ask, like, what was it that they didn't go to with the Knicks? Was it because they're like defying the media because they speculated it, or like what was the reason that didn't happen?
I think it was just mostly the owner, James Dolan, just saying that he was just really concerned about KD's recovery process, and he didn't want to offer him.
Oh my gosh!
There was something similar to that.
KD had an Achilles heel injury, didn't he?
Yeah, Achilles injury sucks, bro. I'm dealing with one right now. It's really rough. I didn't think KD was gonna be the same either, to be honest with you. Just from dealing with my own personal experience.
Cunningham coming to Detroit.
Knicks fans want Cade Cunningham. Two guys coming to Detroit.
That's true. That's true. Knicks fans want him so bad. He's the Oklahoma State point guard, and he's a really good prospect. But this is the problem with the New York media, the market, some of the fans. They jumped to the draft immediately, like before the season even started. Guess what they said right away? Tank for Cunningham. What?
Oh my God!
What?
I'll be honest. I didn't think you guys were gonna be this good. I mean, what's your record? Are you in the East? Are you in the playoffs right now or no?
No. We're on a
5-8.
We're on a 5-game losing streak right now.
Ouch.
Yeah. They started off decent, but now
they're
playing.
I remember they started off decent, and then from since then. Ugh.
Yeah, they're playing Boston actually right about now. They're gonna be playing Boston in a few minutes.
Well. Oh, Pistons Talk in the building. What up, though, Pistons Talk? That's a huge Pistons page, guys. If you don't know, everyone listen. Make sure you go check him out, follow him. Cunningham probably going to Washington somehow. I'm not a guy to speak on like draft picks before it happens because, in a perfect world, the Knicks would have got Zion.
Yeah, we just need to know. We need to know the order. That's all it is, and then we'll pinpoint where guys go. We can't just I can't predict now where these prospects will go.
No.
I don't know the order. I don't know the results of the draft lottery. We just don't know.
I haven't been really big on college basketball this year. I think of other things, but I didn't even know who a top is he considered who's considered a top prospect, right? Is that I didn't even know about Cade Cunningham. I didn't even know.
Oh, there's a bunch of them this year. That it's a hot market right now. They got Cade Cunningham's looking like the number one guy. I think Jalen Green is the other one.
Yeah,
or Jalen Suggs.
Yep.
Killian Cade backcourt gonna be fire for sure. Man, I hope to see some more out of Killian. Hasn't been, but again, I'm not gonna. It's a little too early to judge. But But fellas, any other relevant sports news you want to bring up, or should I wrap this one up? Because I know you guys got things to do.
Do we want to? We're gonna save this for a different show, but do you want to bring up Dan Campbell being hired as the Lions' new head coach?
Yeah, man, we can get into that. We can definitely get into that. I'll probably set it for another show. I'll make it more like a Lions centric show.
Okay.
I will say though, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it.
I don't know. I'm
iffy. I'm iffy on it.
I don't know. No coaching experience. I mean, is this open? Where's Benny gonna go now? I mean, is he gonna just stick with KC?
I think he might stick with KC. It depends what happens with the Eagles job.
Or is he going to the Texans?
Oh,
the
the Texans, right?
Devin equals Dan Campbell equals Robert Salah with experience. I'm a little
experience. He doesn't have experience as a head coach.
He was an interim head coach for the Dolphins. I think he went 7-4 as an interim head coach, which is a winning record. You know, put on the spot too. Former player can resonate with the players a little bit better. We'll get into it. Like I said, we'll do a more Lions-centric show.
Drafts some quarterback.
If you have time after the gym or whatever, or maybe I'll figure something out. I definitely want to do that.
All right, sounds good.
Well, fellas, I appreciate you hopping on. You guys make sure to follow the SK Podcast and Spotify and Apple, Pornhub, all that good stuff. Frankie, I know you want to drop podcast.
I'll let you guys know. I'll announce it on this podcast when I get something going.
Okay, and this is exactly how I feel on Dan Campbell. There, he reminds me of Mike Vrabel. That's the vibe I get from
Interesting.
him. Sure.
I'm interested to see what goes down. I'm interested to see what happens.
Frankie, any update on a name for your podcast? Though, like, can we hear what you're playing around with in the head? Like what you're bouncing around with your names?
I don't have anything. Yeah, everything I have is complete garbage. I don't even want to.
Let's hear it, man. Like let's get some input. Get some input from the boys. What do you got?
I don't know. I had Famous Frankie, but that sounds terrible. That
sounds like a porn name. Yeah, we'll stop there.
Well, I'll discuss later. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, fellas, I appreciate you joining for the show. I appreciate everyone who tapped in, left us some comments. Let's get into some football there today. And Sean, it sucks you got to work, man, because that Browns.
I'm watching it. Don't you worry. I'm watching it on my phone. You think I'm going to be working the whole time?
What do you
do? What's up?
Where do you work?
Hey, well, you are a national broadcast here, Frank. You don't get this guy mugged. We're not in New York. You get mugged or something, at the bodega.
We're not getting into that.
I'll wrap up the broadcast. I'll get you off air if you want to let them know where you work. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you're listening to Apple, Spotify, hit whatever buttons there. I'm not too familiar with those platforms, but